Sky blue eyes, I see a world behind them. No more time, sinking into the silence, reaching out for something.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to C Star League. A little bit of a tough start there, but you know, I'm Vitaly. I'm here with Hunted. How you doing tonight? It's been a little bit, but we're back.
It has been. It's been a very. It's felt to me like it's been a very long time. I'm very excited to finally be back. We had that break over the winter. Well, I mean, I guess over the holiday season anyway. So I hope you all enjoyed that. But we're back with more Collegiate Rocket League. We're in the Southwest tonight, Vitaly, and we've got some pretty good matchups upcoming tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I mean, I'm just more excited for the second matchup, the two undefeated teams. If Nevada obviously wins this, but tonight's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Our first matchup, it is University of Nevada, Reno. It's their A team who, as you kind of alluded to there, they're 5-0 on the season right now, looking to extend their dominance really in the Southwest against the Utah State University Triple B team, which I'm told is kind of the lowest of the Utah State teams, but still a team that's here in CSL, and they're looking for their first win. So we kind of have a little bit of a balance thing here. One team undefeated, one team still looking for that first win. Do we see an upset?
It's going to be tough. Tough for me. I mean, you're going up against a strong Nevada team, and you're coming in as underdogs 100%. I think Nevada, as long as they do what they need to do and take care of business, it should be relatively clean.
Right, and our second match of the night, as again you alluded to a little bit earlier, we will see kind of the same. We'll see the same schools battling it out, but it will be the Utah University A team taking on the Reno A team. And assuming Reno wins this matchup, we have a clash of two undefeated teams. And as late as we are in the season, being undefeated is quite an accomplishment.
Oh yeah, I mean they have done a fantastic job. They've only dropped 2 games, and then was to Arizona State, and that's a pretty good team as well. I think they were in CRL last season or this season before, something like that. But they've always they've done really well. Other than that series where they dropped 2 games, they have not dropped a single game. So we'll see what they can do against this BBB team. I don't know what exactly I'm expecting out of them, but I'm hoping to see a good series.
Yeah, absolutely, and hopefully the players will be ready to go here very shortly. And again, we thank you all so much for being here. It's like we were mentioning, it was a little bit of a break. We're excited to get the second half of the season underway here at the CSL. And, you know, the first half was a lot of fun, Vitaly, but now things start to get serious with the game starting to dwindle down. You don't have much time to improve your standing if you're struggling.
No, you really don't. I mean, if you're this BBB team, you need to get a win here. Like that is 100%. You can't go down here. Unfortunately, I mean, it's gonna be tough against this Nevada team, but we'll see what they can do. I think we're gonna have the players join soon-ish. Yeah, I think we are, and we're gonna get the series underway. I'm excited. Back after a long break. Let's see what happens.
Right, so for Nevada, Reno, as we will see them in this series and the next one, they're going to be in blue. Dukinator, Tunloink, and Unknown, and in orange, the Utah State Triple B team, Alex White, Egg Killer, and Mr. Toothbrusher. A couple of great names on that Triple B team, but underway, it looks like it's going to be UNR to start the attack, and Dukinator get this one by the defense. Unknown's going to try to go one-on-one, almost gets by two, but a good play right out in front. Still the ball off the bar there. Follow up from Dukinator, and he'll score. Not even 30 seconds in, UNR on the board.
Yeah, really good pressure here from UNR. Tunneling, just putting that on off the crossbar. Unknown with a bit of a misread, but Dukinator able to clean that one up, and it's 1-0 Reno. Good job from them to start out this game and series early.
Obviously, some confidence on the blue half of the pitch, starting strong here in game one. We'll see if they can continue that streak, as this one's going to bounce way up high. Tunloink with a little bit of a touch. It's going to fall down in front. Here comes Dukinator. He'll push that one off to the side. Mr. Toothbrusher doing what he can, trying to clean out his side of the half. But again, Tunloink and company keeping the pressure on. Unknown looking for the pass. It'll fall down to Tunloink regardless. Bouncing around in front. Dukinator looking for his second. Not going to find the mark this time.
Yeah, really good pressure here from UNR. BBB haven't really been able to get out of their own half. There's another miss there. Tunneling going to put that one off the backboard. Unknown with the follow, and it's 2-0 Reno. Just great pressure from them.
Yeah, looking at the stat board right now, already 5 shots registered from the Reno squad, and we're only about a minute in. 2-0 on the scoreboard. I don't think we've even seen the ball in the blue half as of yet in this game one, so we'll see if the Triple B squad can try to get some kind of offensive pressure going. What a doink from Unknown. He'll put the third goal in. He gets his second of the game.
Unknown, just a perfect touch here. A great pass down there from Duke, and Unknown, Egg Killer, not really ready for that one. Just a perfect doink into the back of the net. It's 3-0 Reno, just over a minute in. They have come out to play in this series so far.
They most certainly have, and of course, you would imagine that the Utah State A team watching the broadcast now, to at least you would imagine they'd want to scout out their opponents, because again, if Nevada do take this matchup, which I think most are expecting, then it will be a clash of undefeated teams. You don't want to be the one walking away from that with an L in the early part of this second half of the CSL season, but still a lot of action left to play here, Vitaly. We're not even at halftime yet in game one. Nevada with a 3-0 lead here in this best of 5.
Yeah, it was almost 4-0 here. Tunneling again off the crossbar. Unknown can't put that one away, but Reno just fantastic job. And I think that's like the first time we've seen the ball in that blue half. Just Reno's been absolutely starving this BBB team of all this boost and just creating all this pressure. As another passing play, nothing doing. Still 3 minutes left in game number 1. Reno just controlling everything.
Here's Tunloink getting by everybody. He can't quite slot that one home. Mr. Toothbrusher will play that off at Dukinator, looking for the shot. Small dribbler towards the cage. Still the ball right out in front of the blue box, but it will be Tunloink to clean that one up over top of Egg Killer. That's not quite on. It will bounce around and out of harm's way. Cleared out by Alex, but the double bump on the goaltenders. Tunloink is there. He's over the top. He collects his first goal of the game, and it's 4-0.
Yeah, Dukinator bumps both of the players there, and Tunneling just perfect control right over Mr. Toothbrusher. It's 4-0 Reno with half the game gone, and this is exactly what I wanted to see out of Reno. I mean, they started out strong in this game, and they really haven't let up any of the pressure so far.
Halftime gone now, 4-0 in favor of UNR. Make that 5 there as Tunloink will collect his second. And you just look at the shot totals, Vitaly, and you see why this team is so dangerous. 11 shots in the first 3 minutes or so.
Yeah, I mean, 11 shots to 1. Like, that is, that's a scary scoreboard. If you're Utah State, you're looking at this matchup, you're like, oh no, they're showing up tonight confident. As Unknown is going to put in another one, a slow roller, make it 6-0 Reno, and they're just off and running in this game number 1.
Yep, and that will be Unknown's hat trick early on here in game one. Again, this is a best of 5 between these teams, so still time for the Triple B squad to try to combat this heavy aggressive attack here from UNR, but as of yet, they have not been really able to find any kind of offensive possession. Can't stop anything right out in front, as Unknown will collect his 4th of the game, 7-0. And pretty much we can call this game 1 over.
Yeah, tunneling just a good pass, and Unknown able to follow that one up and put that one in. It's 7-0, as you said. I mean, this game started out really, really bad. I mean, they scored, 3 goals in the first minute and 10 or so, Reno did, and they really didn't look back. They've just controlled almost everything in this game number 1.
Certainly the speed and the ball control in favor of the team in blue. Will be Ed Keller to try to play it out of his own zone. Unknown up for the play. The bounce down in front. Tunneling again trying to force his will on the orange half. He's got 2 in this game, 3 assists to his name as well. With 1:30 left to go. If you are the Triple B, the Utah State Triple B team here, you know, obviously, I think coming into this, you expect yourself to be a bit outclassed by a team that certainly leads in the division, a team that can challenge even your best team on a good day. And, you know, what do you try to take away from this if you're the Triple B team? Are they out here just having fun, trying their best, or are they you know, looking for improvement? What do you get out of a match like this?
I think this is just more for... I think it's a bit of both, to be honest. You're coming out here, you're not expecting to win, as you said. You're going up against a team that's very good. They're 5-0, obviously. I think you know that in the back of your head, but you want to have fun, but you also want to improve, as that's ridiculous for 9 Unknown getting that dunk. But this, it's really just out here. You want to improve the best you can, but also have fun at the same time. It's tough when you're down 9-0 in game number 1, but unfortunately, those kind of games happen. You just can't let those games get away from you in the next 2, at least.
Most certainly some improvements need to be made on the side of the Orange squad, as the 10th goal will be scored for the Reno side. And you know, the goals just keep on pouring in. And, you know, again, if you are the Utah A team, certainly want to take note, you know, use this as an opportunity to scout out your opponents. Because, again, I mean, you mentioned it just a couple moments ago that Nevada, an undefeated team, we're going to be talking about that a lot tonight. I mean, that's kind of the storyline of the evening. A couple of undefeated teams battling it out for that kind of top spot in the Southwest. And that's something that you don't really get to see too often in these divisions. Normally you have a team that just kind of runs away with it all, right? And you have a couple of teams behind them kind of duking it out, struggling a little bit. But in the Southwest, it's a juggernaut versus juggernaut matchup, and we get to see that tonight.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I mean, obviously, Reno showing up in this game number 1, 11 goals. I mean, I was expecting, you know, a little bit of outclass here, but this is a ridiculous game number 1. You just kind of hope that you save the goals for the next series as well. You don't want to, you know, get too comfortable and go into the next series saying, oh, you know what, that series was, you know, we were really comfortable, but you gotta focus up again in this game. In this game number 2, I mean, it's a best of 5. It's a longer series. You can't just, you know, mess around and really. Since you're playing Utah next, like the Utah team, the A team, you can't let yourself get ahead of yourselves and say, oh, you know what, as I said, you know, comfortable, but
right. And that's honestly, that's a fantastic point, because I mean, if you are a competitive gamer at all, you know, if you're like me at all and you love these kind of competitive type games, you know, you go into like a ranked match, for instance, and you go out to a huge league. If we're just going to talk about Rocket League, you know, you're up 5-0. The last minute doesn't matter. You're just there having fun. Then all of a sudden you get into that next match and you're still kind of in that fun mode. Yeah. And, you know, things start to fall apart because you're not playing, you're not focusing on what needs to be done. And for UNR, this could be something that's certainly dangerous as you go directly from this series into one against an opponent who's going to play you probably much closer than this one.
Yeah, that was kind of the point that I wanted to make. I mean, it's you can't let yourself get too comfortable. I think it was good as much as they really did outclass them. They showed up 11-0, but I think it was good that they kept that killer instinct on. They scored 11 goals. They didn't really let up. So I think that it's possible that things just kind of happen the way that they do. They may still show up. They may have a rough game one in the next series, but I don't think that it's going to affect them too much going forward.
Well, the players loaded into the lobby, and they will be getting game number 2 underway here. An 11-0 game 1 victory for Reno, Nevada. Or, I'm sorry, the University of Nevada, Reno, I should say. And for the Utah State Triple B team, at least an attempt to try to come back here. At least the scoreboard is wiped clean, but there's Tunneling 4 seconds in. We'll put 1 on the board.
The man is in the scarab. He is feeling confident. It is 1-0, 4 seconds in, and Reno just starting off exactly where they left off in game number 1. And I mean, this could just be another ugly game number 2. And I mean, if you're BBB, it's got to feel bad. Like it's just got to feel bad at some point. You're giving up all these goals.
15 seconds in, a 1-0 game in favor of Nevada. There's Unknown looking for the deflection. That's just off the post. Tunlink will try to follow it up. He's got that beautiful blue mohawk on top of the scarab right out in front. I'm sorry, that's not the mohawk. That's the cowboy hat. He'll put one in. Why not? 2-0 now, 30 seconds in. And, I mean, it doesn't really matter what card you're going to use if you're just going to be potting in goals like this.
Yeah, no, you get a free goal. You open net right in front. You're not going to miss those, even if you are in the scarab. I mean, the Scarab isn't a bad card, to be fair. The Scarab it's an Octane hitbox, so it's not, like, that bad. But it is, to be fair, it is the Scarab, so.
The Scarab is the car that I'm pretty good at, keeping oriented on the pitch, right? I know where I am at all times, typically where my teammates are. As soon as I get in the Scarab, it's almost hard to tell which way is forwards and which way is backwards.
You're an egg, right? Like it's kind of like you're playing as the ball,
Exactly.
Tunnelink seems to have found his bearings, though. He scored 2 goals in the first little bit. His Unknown's going to probably put in another one. He will. It's 3-0 Reno, and they're just firing on all cylinders in the series.
I mean, you know what they say. You have to be the ball to score the ball, and he's showing us exactly why. He's got 2 goals in this game. Unknown will pot that one, as you said, 3-0 with just about a minute 10 gone by here in game number 2. We'll see if UNR can throw in a couple more. There's Tunlink. He'll collect his hat trick on this one. He's got 3 goals in 3 shots, and again, showing prowess no matter what the situation. UNR out to a comfortable lead yet again, and if you are the coach of Utah University, especially this Triple B team, and you're going up against an opponent like this, what are you saying to your players? I mean, I think it's quite obvious. There's no real beating around the bush. It's got to be frustrating for your players. I mean, what do you tell them in these kind of moments?
Have fun. I think that's the biggest thing is, what, this series is going to happen. Unfortunately, you are 0-5, so you might have taken a few of these already. I think it's just self-improving, realizing that you are outclassed and just working on things for next time. And obviously, we have mentioned that this Reno team is very good as a passing player from Unknown to Tunnelink, and that's going to be 6-0 and a minute and a half in, and I don't even know. I haven't lost for words to this. This series, like this, it's hard to watch at some points because you're just like, oh, they score again. Oh no, there's just they just can't get out of their own half. Like this BBB team just can't get out of their own half, and it's tough, really.
2 shots on the board, and that looked like an own goal, unfortunately. Put in the back of the net there. 7-0 now for UNR, looking to rival their 11-goal total there in game 1. They still have 3 minutes and 14 seconds to try to put in a couple more goals, but I mean, there's not much more really to say, about the series. Everybody on UNR, they look so confident in their abilities. They know that they are a quality team. There's a reason why they're undefeated coming into this. And, I think this is also kind of a little bit of a statement to the Utah A team, or I'm sorry, the Utah State A team, in that, look, we're here, we're ready to play, and, you guys are going to have to beat us if you want to stay undefeated.
Yeah, no, I mean, and again, it's something I brought up in the last game. They're keeping that killer instinct up. They're up 8-0, but they're still, like, going for these plays and just trying to score more goals, and I think that's what you need in this sort of thing, just not to let yourself get too comfortable, as that's going to be another one. It's 9-0. This Reno team, it's going to be scary for Utah. I think Utah is shaking a little bit in their boots after this series, after these 2 games. They've scored, 20 goals? 20 goals in the first 2 games?
20 goals.
We're not even done the second game so far.
We're not even halfway done the second game.
No.
I can't remember the last time I've seen a team score 20 goals in the first 7.5 minutes of a series, but here we are. And maybe you say that they're trying to send a message, as it looks like, a good save there from Egg-Killer on the goal line. Keep Tunloink's double hat trick away for now, but you say that maybe it's a message sent to Utah State's A team, but also it could kind of light the fire that Utah State kind of wants to bring into that series. It's a bit of an embarrassment, but maybe that lights their fire to come out strong in the next one.
It's possible. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you got to avenge your teams, You can't let this kind of drubbing go all for naught. Unfortunately, the BBB team had to take this kind of this is tough, because Reno's just a quality team for sure. And Utah, I'm just excited. I don't think you got to, like, I'm very excited for the next series between 2 undefeated teams.
Sure.
And it's just sad that, unfortunately, BBB had to be in the way of this Reno team. It's basically a warm-up series for them.
Absolutely. And you talk about just the collegiate scene in general and how many quality teams there are. Certainly, we look at Nevada Reno as a team that's a bit of an unknown quantity, I think, to a lot of people. I don't think they've really made a splash in kind of the top level of the the collegiate scene in the past with the different CRLs and what have you, but they certainly seem capable as a squad to take down some of these larger teams potentially in upcoming seasons, as they're going to score a 12th goal here in game number 2. But how do you see these teams kind of faring up against some of the better teams in the West?
Well, Reno, actually, I think they came within 1 series of qualifying for CRL last season in the fall. So I definitely think, and with the first qualifiers coming up this weekend, actually, for CRL, make sure you sign up. Do it. A little bit of a sell-up for CRL, but this team is definitely capable of qualifying for CRL. I think this, it's I don't know. I think it's possible that both Utah and Nevada. I mixed Nevada and Reno at the same time, but as Dukenator puts in a 13th, 13 goals, 24. What? I'm just at a loss for words. I don't even know at this point. Like, this is just it's a drubbing. That's what it is. It's a drubbing.
And it's kind of the nature of collegiate sports, collegiate Rocket League at times, especially in a league like CSL, where it's the part that I love about CSL, quite honestly, is that everybody is welcome to play, right? I mean, obviously this is Utah State's, I think, 4th team, right?
Yeah.
And in other more traditional leagues, they might not have an opportunity to even play these matches, which is something that I love about CSL, and the fact that we get to see these players, gain this kind of experience, or at least have fun playing the game that they love in the collegiate scene. It's just unfortunate that sometimes, of course, you are going to run into things like this where you get rather inexperienced players, or players that, you know, are just looking at this as something fun to do in their spare time, and then you come across a team like this Nevada Reno team who, you know, serious contenders for top team in the West when it comes to these collegiate schools. And you know, it's going to happen. I think this is honestly the highest goal total I've ever seen a team score in my time in Rocket League.
I think so as well. I think this is the highest I've ever seen.
And I was looking at Tunlink, and now Unknown has 7. I don't think they have enough time. I've never seen a player score double-digit goals in a game.
I don't think they have enough time.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I was kind of hoping to see it first time. But either way, 7 goals for Unknown, 7 for Tunloink, 2 for Duke Nader. Not to mention the 5 assists for Unknown, 3 for Tunloink, and 6 for Duke Nader. And as time winds down now, Mr. Toothbrusher looking for any kind of offense. That'll bounce around. Alex will keep it up, and we are going to head to game number 3. It's going to be the Nevada Reno squad. Get an extra 1, make it 17 goals on the game. They will take a 2-0 series lead. And unless something drastic changes, it looks like it's going to be a clean sweep.
That's 28 goals in 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
That is that's a lot of goals. This Nevada Reno team is something special to watch. You look at that stat line. 7 goals for Unknown, 7 goals for Ton, as you mentioned, 3 goals for Duke. I mean, what else do you have to say? I don't even know. Like, this was ridiculous. You come in, you know, that first game 1, you're like, you know what? It's 11-0. It is 11-0, obviously. So it's not like, it's just 11-0. But you know, you think you see some adjustments from the other team, but here it just got worse, and Nevada Reno is just really putting it to them at this point.
That they most certainly are, proving that they are certainly a team to fear, no matter who you are in this Southwest Conference. But yeah, we're going to be moving into game 3. The players look like they have loaded or almost loaded completely into the lobby, and we will go ahead and get that underway. Obviously, if there's any hope for the Triple B squad, it needs to happen right now. They haven't scored a goal yet in the series. I would be interested to see what time of possession would be. I would imagine about 9 minutes and 50 seconds of the 10 minutes that we watched were in the orange zone. But, you know, it's Rocket League, right? Yeah. You never know what's going to happen.
No, you really don't. I mean, you could see a game like that. Obviously, 17-0 is a little scary, but you see a game like that, and you're like, you know, they get a little relaxed. They got a full Scarab lineup here on the side of BBB. We are missing one of the players.
Oh, I didn't realize they were missing one.
He might have been switching to the Scarab and didn't join back in time. But we will get this game number 3 underway at some point. I think we will see a full Scarab lineup in game number 3 from BBB. But if you're Nevada Reno, just take this game, take this one game to warm up, and you've obviously had 28 goals in this whole series so far, so you never know what happens in the rest of the series. In the next series. Are we restarting?
I'm not entirely sure. Don't know quite what the ruling is. They didn't have other players, and it looks like everybody's here. No goals were scored. If the players want to just continue to play, I suppose we can let them play on. So it will look like Tunling's going to score that first goal. So yeah, 1-0 lead, about 50 seconds into game number 3, and unless, of course, we do have a server restart, but yeah, it looks like the players will go ahead and play it out.
All right.
At least that's what they've agreed to in server. So game number 3 underway. 1-0 in favor of UNR. Tunloink on the board early here, and still the Triple B squad, they're looking for their first goal of the series.
Yeah. They could have taken that advantage, the advantage of the first minute. Scored a goal, but unfortunately they couldn't do so. And now Reno starting off early again. Duke, you can't put that one in. That would have been a really nice play, but unfortunately just unable to put it in. And this Reno team, I'm excited to see this next series between them and Utah. As a pinch? I think that was no, it wasn't a pinch. He didn't get an assist, but it's 2-0 Reno anyways.
Yeah, just a good shot there from Unknown from midfield. I think that might have been a pinch if Nader didn't run into the opposing player there right at the very last moment. So minute and a half in, game 3. 2-0 lead for UNR. They are looking to close out this series in 3 straight games if they can take this one. Tunloink looking to play this down in front of the box. Egg Killer can't quite get up there for it. It's going to bounce out of the corner. Alex with a solid clear. Gets it back through mid. We approach that 2-minute mark now. BBB looking for some early offense here. They need to get one back if they want to try to make this a close one, as Tunloink's going to play this into the corner. And no real passing opportunities out in front, but there's Unknown. The play can't be made on the defensive side. 3-0.
Yeah, just kind of a broken play. Tunloink getting this ball in the corner, just putting it in the midfield, and Toothbrusher, Mr. Toothbrusher, what a fantastic name. Unfortunately, unable to get a touch on it, and it's 3-0 Reno. And I mean, it isn't as bad as the other 2 games so far, but it's really repeating like the other 2 games. As Duke Nader almost puts that one in. Tunloink will put in a 4th, and as much as it isn't as bad score-wise, it just feels almost as bad pressure-wise.
Well, what I find to be my highlight so far of this game is that Egg Killer is playing in the egg. Is there not some kind of sick irony there? I mean,
yeah. Well, I'll let you have that one, Hunter. Yeah.
You bet there's not a toothbrush car. Is there a car that kind of looks like a toothbrush? I mean, I'm trying to think. Like the Fenix, sort of. If you really stretch it out, I guess.
I don't know what kind of toothbrushes you use.
Yeah,
but...
I'm just trying to think. Like there are some older cars, right? Like some of the more muscle car looking ones. I mean, obviously not the Dominus, but there are some thin kind of long cars that you could sort of make a case looks like a toothbrush. Once we go to break, I'm looking this up. I'm going to find one for Mr. Toothbrusher to use in the rest of his magic.
That's going to be great. Oh, it's Unknown. It's going to come off that back. That was, I mean, it was a little slow, but that was pretty. That was
a nice touch there. You're absolutely right. Egg Killer almost got back to it. Got bumped there by Tunloink at the end, but good touch from Unknown. He gets his hat trick here in this game as well. 6-0. 2:13 to go. And so, assuming we find a car for Mr. Toothbrusher, I guess the only player left to find a car would have to be Alex. But I mean, I guess he has, white in his name. I guess you could just take like a titanium white Octane or something like that.
I guess you could, Maybe Duke Nader will give him one for the apologies for this this drubbing of a series. It's already 7-0 in game 3. And I said it wasn't as bad scoreline wise. It's looking to it's starting to get to that point again.
Yes. Well, we've got a minute 55 left here in this first series of the night. We do have 2 more on the docket for you. The next one certainly going to be a competitive series, I would imagine, between this same UNR team that we are watching right now scored their 8th on the board. Also, another Utah State team, but it will be their A squad who also come into that series with a 6-0, score throughout the season. So one of the teams will move to 7-0. One, unfortunately, will drop to 6-1, and I don't think either one of them are going to go down easy.
No, I think that we're going to see a very competitive series. Reno might take the first game just because of the fact that they've had that first series on stream already. and they've had just the ability to warm up. But I think that it's going to be a really close series. I wouldn't doubt it if it went to Game 5 between those two teams.
As we approach that final minute mark here in game number 3, a bouncer from Dukinator will secure his second goal of the game. And if this series has any kind of indication of how UNR typically like to play, it's quite obvious that Tunloink and Unknown are kind of the goal scorers, the playmakers up front, and Dukinator really likes to play that third man in kind of role, that defensive role. And we haven't really seen him challenge too much in this series. Hasn't really had to play a lot of defense, but certainly he's got a lot of help up front between Tunloink and Unknown.
Yeah, I mean these players are obviously quality players. As Unknown's gonna put in another one, 10-0. They've reached double digits in every single game. Have we had that happen before? I don't think I've ever seen that happen.
Nope. I like I said, I can't even remember the last time I saw a team score double-digit goals in one game, let alone all 3 in a 3-game series. And now what would be crazy is if you had a team score double-digit goals in all 5 games of a best-of-5.
That would be wild. That would be some wild game. I don't even know how. This Nevada Reno team, I think if my math is right, if they score one more goal, they will be at 40 goals for the whole series.
That's probably about as many goals as some of these teams are going to score all season.
Oh my goodness. That is... Well, this series really pads your stats if you're on the side of Reno. It is unfortunate for BBB. You take this, as I've said. I think I've said that it's unfortunate a lot, but it is. I mean, you're going through this and you're just like, I don't even know, like, what you're thinking on this side. You're just like, you know what? We got to just take this at this point. Like, there's nothing we can do.
Right.
For Reno, I have a feeling that there is the 40th goal. I think, if my math is correct.
Yeah, it was 11 in the first game, 17 in the last one. That will bring you up to 28, and then you add the 12. Yep, we are at 40 goals. Would be interested in how many shots total was taken by UNR. I know that they had a little bit of trouble finding the back of the net in game 1, so certainly a large number of shots. That one will go just wide. Dukinator will follow and scored at a 13th. And I mean, not much more to say about this series. There's 7 seconds left. Every player from UNR has 7 shots. All of them have at least 4 goals as well. And that will be a clean sweep here in game 3.
I don't remember the last time I saw BBB have a shot.
Well, they don't have any in this game.
Yeah. I can't remember if they had one in the last game either. I don't know. I don't know at this point. It doesn't. Honestly, it was clean sweep. Nevada Reno showed up strongly, very strong in this series, and they made a statement in this series. They are ready for Utah.
That they most certainly did, and to we don't want to overanalyze this series. Certainly, it was a clean sweep from UNR. I mean, domination from the start until the very end. And now, with that, they move on to 6-0 and moving into our second series, which we're going to do after a very short break. 2 6-0 teams battling it out here in the CSL. Vitalia, how excited are you for that match?
I am very excited for this match. This is going to be one of the best matches we've seen all season, I think. I think this is going to be one of the best matches we'll see all season, like through any teams. I'm just very excited to see these two teams. We saw Reno's fantastic offense in the last series. I'm excited to see what Utah brings to the table. They're 6-0 as well, so we'll see who wins the battle of the undefeated teams.
Well, we will check that out on the other side of a very short break. You're going to want to make sure you are here for that kickoff in just a couple of moments. Don't go anywhere. A big thank you to our sponsor for the season, GameStop. GameStop is partnering with CSL in 2019-2020 to activate collegiate esports tournaments online and in person. Visit www.gamestop.com/esports for more details about their GameStop Performance Center gaming clinics. GSPC gaming clinics are free for all players and give you an insider look at how the players you love to watch dominate the games you love to play. And be sure to check out our GameStop Weeklies, a series of community-oriented tournaments that run from November through March for a variety of games, including League of Legends, TFT, CSGO, Overwatch, Madden, Rocket League, Hearthstone, and Smash Ultimate. Sign up today on our website at cstarleague.com. But welcome back to CSL. Hunted and Vitali here with you. We just watched a series that honestly is probably going to be one of my most memorable series I've ever seen as a commentator here. But we get another one which could be just as memorable, Vitali, between Reno and Utah State A, two undefeated teams looking to stay that way.
Yeah, memorable for different reasons. But definitely, I'm excited for this series. I was curious, I was excited all of last year just for this series because two undefeated teams going at it. I mean, we just saw Reno they played fantastic in the last series, and now they're going up against an undefeated team. And I'm wondering what this series is going to bring because I haven't seen a whole lot of Utah State. Obviously, we saw the last series against Reno, but I mean, that series was kind of a series you want to put behind you at that point. I'm excited to see these two teams. I'm excited to see this series, but we will see. We're getting into game number one. I'm good at this. Take this one away.
Yes, we are underway with game one. UNR will stay in blue. Dukinator, Tunloink, and Unknown. And for Utah State, Ben, Velocity, and Heist in orange. Game one underway now. Dukinator will send that towards the orange goal. Good play from Velocity to clear it down. Unknown off the back wall. Here's Ben to try to keep things going. Heist is actually going to rotate back for boost. The demo on the backside. That'll open up the goal. Goal number one scored by Reno, Nevada.
Yeah, really good demo here. Tun couldn't get a touch on that ball, but he went ahead and you realized that the defender was the last one back and plowed right through him, and Dukinator able to get the first one on the board. And Reno starting off this series like they finished the last one. We're going up 1-0 with 20 seconds gone.
Very identical start to the game number one they had in that last series, taking that first goal quite early. They will have a 1-0 lead. First 30 seconds in as Unknown looks to spot a second one. He will. Great pass across the box. It's 2-0.
And it's kind of what I said. This Reno team has started out very strong. They had that warm-up series, and Utah looking a little bit flat there, a little bit slow to the ball on the defensive side. And it's 2-0 Reno. A great pass there from Tun, a great finish from Unknown, and it's a really great start here from Reno. So this might be another one. No Velocity, clear that one away. But again, Reno starting off strong.
This one's going to bounce down. Ben takes that away from Unknown. It's going to force Dukinator up to make a touch. Velocity tried to center that. Can't quite get it out to his teammate in Heist. Here's Dukinator over the top. Ben to try to keep it in. Tunloink wins the challenge. He scores the goal. A goal apiece for the Reno squad. It's 3-0.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this Utah team is kind of a little bit clumped up. Heist and Ben both in the same spot. Tunloink just has to win a challenge against one. And it's 3-0 Reno. They have started out, as I said, just like they finished in the last series. They are scoring all the goals that they need to, and they are playing fantastic midfield defense.
On fire to start game number one here of this best of five. 3 goals early on. Ben, good play to take that one away from Dukinator, but now it's going to be Utah State to try to play it out of their own zone. Velocity. He can't get by Tunloink. This is going to force Heist to rotate all the way back. The giveaway in front. Unknown will score. And Reno just cannot be denied. They've got 4 on the board, and we're not even a minute and a half old.
Yeah, Heist just not the greatest touch there. Unknown ready for it, and it's 4-0. And Reno, they're doing a great job today of just capitalizing on all the mistakes that the opponents are giving to them. They aren't giving them, a ton, but when they are being given these chances, they are scoring when they need to, as that might be a goal. No, Velocity can put that one off the post, and Utah still without a goal. Just a minute and a half gone.
just pushed wide of the cage there. As you said, a minute and a half has been played. Still a 4-0 lead for the University of Nevada, Reno. This one will be in the blue corner for the moment. Heist looking to get some offense rolling now for Utah State. Good save by Duke Nader. This will bounce around in front. Velocity, the last one there. Tunloing's going to collect the free ball. He pushed that just a bit wide. Can he get back to it? Not quite in time. It'll bounce high. Here's Duke Nader for the follow. Great save by Velocity. Still out in front of the orange net, but cleared away. No follow-up from unknown in time.
Yeah, and this Reno team, they kind of had a little bit of a scary defensive situation, but they dealt with it well. Velocity challenging his last man and gave Reno an excellent chance. Unfortunately, Tunneling unable to put it away, but half the game gone. Reno playing fantastic, all up 4-0 in this game. Number one is a backflip there, but it might not matter. It's going to go wide. Utah still can't find that goal.
Oh, Tunlock nearly put it in for them. That one just off the post. Heist is there, and he pushes that one just off the top of his car. And it will be Duke Nader to play it away. Good play there from Heist to try to keep it in. But Unknown and Velocity combined. There's Ben to play it forward. Velocity's there. Puts that behind Heist. Unknown in a perfect spot, but he goes high. Duke Nader the follow. That's going to bounce off the top as well. UNR not able to capitalize, although Tunlock another opportunity, Ben there to make the play.
Oh.
The pinch eventually is what goes in for Duke Nader. Why not? 5-0 with 1:45 left to go, and it's just about time to look forward to game two if you're Utah State.
Yeah, and they didn't get off, like Utah State did not get off to a good start, and that really killed them in this game. Unfortunately, that ball is the one that goes in, but there was a lot more chances beforehand. I was talking about how Reno did a really good job of capitalizing all the opportunities. It took a while for them to finally capitalize on one there. A little bit of caster curse, but didn't matter. It is 5-0, and this might turn into another one. It won't, but Utah still down 5-0. They can't find a goal. They can't really find any offense in this game, number one.
12 shots now on the board. Make it 13 there as Ben has to make the save. Here comes Heist charging down the far side of the pitch. He's got Ben looking for a pass down in front. Good clear away by Duke Nader, and Tunlock will assist. Only 4 shots for the Utah State squad. We've played 4 minutes. Still a 5-0 game. And again, this one looks like we're going to be heading into game 2 with a UNR victory here in game number 1. Now, if you're Utah State, like you said, it was a bad start, down, I believe, 3 before the 1.5-minute mark, and kind of fell apart from there. They might be able to get one here, but Duke Nader just beats everybody to the ball. He'll put that in the back of the net, collect his hat trick. But if you're Utah State, what do you got to change for game 2?
They just seem a little bit slow to the ball. Like they aren't making the quality challenges that they need to, and Reno is just beating them to every touch. I mean, that's really all it is. These shots off the backboard, there's really no defense, and Reno's just getting all the free chances that they want to. And there's a whole lot of turnovers. Another one there from Ben just in the midfield, giving it away. And Reno is just playing fantastic. They're letting Utah hit the ball into them and just give away possession, and they're capitalizing on it.
I think the key word that you said there is Ben tries to find the first goal. He's not going to be able to get the angle. I like your point about the turnovers. There have been quite a number of them from the Utah State squad, and that is definitely something that they need to clean up. The passing plays, the options are there. The touches are just not clean enough, and the ball's getting turned over as Heist looks to just get one on the board. He will. That is the first Utah State goal of the evening, and it comes with only 1 second left in game 1. Not enough to battle back.
Yeah, that is the first goal that Reno has had scored on them all night. That is, I mean, it doesn't matter. It's 6-1. Utah, you want to kind of build off of that. You scored 1 goal in this one with 1 second left, obviously, but you just kind of want to build off of that. You want to get a better start in game number 2, and hopefully things work out better for you in the next game.
Yeah, we look forward to game 2 with Reno having that 1-0 lead. And again, it felt like it was a possession game that was just won from Reno. And whenever Utah State had the ball, it was turnover after turnover, misplays in the offensive zone, or just errant passes that didn't connect with anybody. Could that be just a little bit of stream jitters for game number 1 for Utah State? Or is Reno kind of forcing those opportunities?
I think it's a bit of both. I think it's possible that the stream judges are playing into it a little bit, but at the same time, I don't know, because there's a possibility that Reno's just warm, right? Like, they played this series beforehand, so they're just like, you know what, they're firing on all cylinders. In Utah, they're probably coming into this cold. They might have had a scrim beforehand. I don't know, but it's also possible that it's just the jitters, as you said. But who knows? I mean, Reno doing a good job. Another demo early on. This might turn into Reno starting off strong again in game number 2. Just couldn't find that goal.
We'll see if there are any changes made by the Utah State squad. Game 2 underway, 20 seconds in, no score. Heist careful out in front. He wins the challenge by Dukinator. Tunloink's going to challenge Velocity in mid. It'll fall down to Unknown. Can't get by Heist, but Ben was not in the best position. He will turn around, try to play it out of the corner, but the ball still lurking in the orange half. Unknown shoots. Great save by Heist. Ben nearly puts that in his own net. It goes just off the post. Still the blue squad looking to press this attack, find that early first goal, but there's a good clear from Heist.
Yeah, and something that I'm noticing is, like, right in the midfield, Utah's allowing Reno to really have these passes and for free shots right at the top of the box, and you're not going to get away with that for long. Dukinator can't make contact on the ball. Now, Heist with a chance. He's just going to flick that over. Ben, not the greatest touch. It's going to get cleared away anyways, and Reno still with that one. Just a good job of shutting that offensive opportunity down for Utah. That's really been the only one this whole series, and they shut it down pretty brilliantly.
It's something that I've noticed as Heist takes a quick shot. Good play there by Dukinator. Ben still trying to keep the pressure going. I've noticed that the placement of the third man for Utah State has been a little bit iffy at times. Velocity in particular trying to play that midfield kind of challenge and keep the ball in the zone play. He's been caught out a couple of times, had to make a couple of poor touches and leave his team hanging a little bit there. We'll see if they can clean that up, as, again, the defense for UNR has been quite good throughout the series. 3:10 left to go here. Still no score. Utah, they did score their first goal with only 1 second left to go in game 1. Can they get the first one here? Try to build off some of that momentum. But so far, it's been a bit of a back-and-forth game, but still in Reno's favor.
Yeah, I think Reno has had a lot more, just the better chances. There have been a few more opportunities as Heist, unfortunately, has a shot blocked by Velocity. But Utah, they're finally getting into that blue half as Unknown. Going to make a good touch. This Reno squad is starting to play a little bit more defense, kind of giving the ball away. But we'll see if they can make an adjustment and start allowing Utah to give them that ball again. Dukinator almost pushed up a little bit too far, but it might not matter. It's going to be cleared away.
We wave goodbye to halftime and still scoreless here in game 2. Bit of caught out now as Utah State. Ben has to go up and make the play. It's going to fall down right in front. Good play from Heist. Right up to Velocity. Here comes the transition. Can't quite get by Dukinator, however, as that ball was just pushed a bit wide. Close calls on either side of the pitch, but still no score here in game 2. 2 minutes left to go. Tunloink will play it into the orange zone. There's Heist to keep things moving. Dukinator lurking. He's got Tunloink across the pitch, looking for the redirect. That one's just a bit high, and Ben will find the clear. Still no score, Vitali, but it's been close.
It has. It has been a lot closer. And something that I wanted to point out is there's a shot towards net. A good save, but Unknown. What a save from Heist. This Utah State defense just holding on by a thread. It feels like Utah is playing a little bit too fast. They're giving the ball away quite a bit when they're trying to move on a transition, and that's why their offensive chances have been kind of lacking. And unless they could score. Heist just keeping that ball in, but Tunnelik able to beat that man of the ball in the midfield, and that's been something that we've been saying all game long. This is going to go off the post, and Reno still can't find that goal. They've been having these chances all game long, but they just can't find anything.
Couple of heroic saves from Heist a little bit earlier on, keeps things scoreless. The demo on the backside on Tunloink opens up some space. Good play by Dukinator to force Velocity and company back. Nobody's going to challenge this. Gives Unknown some opportunity to find Tunloink, but good clear from Velocity. Final 45 seconds. Game number 2. Dukinator and Velocity come together. This will bounce down for Heist to try to play it. He gets by Dukinator. It'll fall down in front. Tunloink has to go up to make the play. That's not the greatest clear. Velocity's in. He shoots. Good save from Unknown. Right place, right time in the goal line.
Yeah, a good play from them, but Utah finally finding these offensive opportunities with just under a minute left. Ben can't put that one in. Still, we stay scoreless, and this has been a completely different game from what we've seen in the last 5 from Reno. We'll see if they can get that first goal, or if Utah can grab and steal game number 2.
Certainly in golden goal territory now. Next goal should just about secure game number 2. As Ben wants to try to give something going, but can't quite do it. We are in overtime now. If the next goal is blue, it's a 2-0 lead for UNR. Heading into game 3, if the next goal is orange, it will be tied at 1. As this is a great pass down towards Dukenator. Tunloik going to try to follow it up. Actually opts to turn around. Velocity was looking for a redirect on that transition. But falls into the blue corner now. Around Ben. Here comes Tunloik and Unknown screaming down the side. Velocity tries to win that challenge. Good play from Heist. And again, Velocity with the redirect. That's on net. Dukenator can't quite get it. Ben with the follow-up. He doesn't get the touch on it. And still no goals scored in game 2.
Yeah, that was the best chance for Utah. And, Dukenator, if he put that on shot on net, it might have been a goal. Reno kind of bumping each other a little bit in midfield, but not going to matter. They're going to keep this one in. They're doing a good job of keeping them in at this point, but they got to watch out for the transition. Velocity's been upfield a few times for that redirect. This Dukenator trying to put that one in. He can't do so. Just got to watch that transition. Make sure you don't push up too far.
Buzzing now are the blue squad. Good play there from Unknown to keep the ball in the orange half. Dukenator off the corner while Heist is going to have to win that challenge. He does. Tunloik was looking to stuff that one in far post as now, again, Heist over top of Unknown. Dukenator will turn. He gets by Ben. Both players up for the orange team. This will fall down. Ben, he gets a touch away. That buys just enough time for Velocity to get back. Still Unknown keeps the pressure going. But you can see UNR definitely dropping back in a defensive posture. Don't want to give up any kind of odd man opportunity the other way.
Yeah, no, definitely. This Utah team has tried to catch them out in transition, but really they're just allowing Utah to hit the ball to them as Dukenator. Gonna put that shot towards net. The demo couldn't come through. Heist makes the save, and now he's got a chance the other way. Unknown with a fantastic challenge. Keep this Reno squad in it in game number 2.
Well, here's Ben. He had an opportunity, but Dukenator beats him to that one. It's now Unknown up towards Dukenator. He'll play it across the pitch where Velocity actually gives that ball up in mid. Ben has to try to clear this one away right down towards Velocity. Tries to send Ben away, but Dukenator in solid defensive positioning. This is on goal. It actually goes by everybody. Luckily, that one wasn't on net. As now Ben, corner wall, Velocity looking for the challenge. It will be Unknown to clear it away. 2-on-2 back the other way as Heist wants to keep things in the corner. Gets by Dukenator up towards Velocity. This could be dangerous. Unknown, only man back. He can't win the challenge. Velocity out in front, but it's too high. Ben couldn't get there.
Yeah, a good play. Heist has a shot. It's going to go off the crossbar. And that was the best chance for Utah. Just right off the crossbar. Velocity keeping that one in front. This one might be it. No, Ben can't make contact. Both teams are panicking at this point. They're just throwing themselves at the ball, hoping that something works out. And 3 minutes gone to this overtime. It's whoever makes that first mistake at this point.
Close calls on either side of the pitch. Still no goals scored in game 2. Unknown goes by Ben. He can't get past Velocity. Tunloik will help out. Plays it out towards mid. There's Unknown. Ben makes the save, and the ball's pushed into the orange corner yet again. Dukenator. This is free for Unknown. He hits the crossbar. Nobody out in front for the orange squad, but they can't quite put it home. As now Tunloik again looking for the pass across Unknown, and they score. Finally, UNR break through the orange defense, and they take game 2.
Finally, I think those are the words that they're probably uttered. Finally, 7 saves on the side of Utah and a 2-0 series lead now for Reno. Just a fantastic game all around. I mean, there were quality chances on both sides, and it ended in a great passing play from Tunneling to Unknown. And this is the kind of series that I wanted to see. That game 1 was a little underwhelming, but this game number 2 is fantastic.
Yeah, 6-1 game win for Nevada Reno in that game number 1. This one, it took them almost 9 whole minutes to score even the first goal, and that's all it took. to take game number 2. So we move into game 3, a much closer battle, but now the ball fully in the Utah State court, if you will. They've got to win the next 3 in a row.
Yeah. But I saw some quality things out of this team. Even on defense when they were a little bit panicked, Utah, I'm talking about Utah here. Even when they were a little bit panicked on defense, they always had someone to back them up. So when they did make that desperation save, they always had someone to be there and follow up their touches, which is exactly what they needed. If Reno got the touches, if they got the touches that they wanted, this could have been over a lot earlier. There was a lot of heroic saves on the goal line from Utah as well. But they did a great job on defense, just clearing things out and creating offensive opportunities on transition. And that's exactly what Reno don't want. I mean, they played that kind of defensive posture in the last, minute and a half of overtime. And as this shot's going towards net, start off game 3, Utah wanting to get that first game back at least.
We'll see if they are able to take game number 3. Great pass down to Dukinators, blocked away by Ben. And while we talked about how close this series has been, and specifically game 2, there's Unknown will start the scoring off early for Nevada. And this is where it gets kind of dangerous if you're Utah State. You only let up 1 goal last game. That's all it took. And now we saw when Reno gets on the board early, it can be dangerous.
Yeah, they can build on that really quickly. I mean, you saw game 1, they had 3 goals in the span of, a minute and 10 seconds, something like that. So you just got to make sure that you contain it and you try to score a goal just as quickly coming back. You don't want to allow this thing to snowball.
Here's Tunloink. Look for the shot on goal. Good play from Heist. Heist, a couple of heroic goal line saves in the last game. One of the reasons why we saw overtime is now Velocity actually opts to turn on that one. Was looking for the challenge, the fake challenge. He actually gets the ball back, looking for Heist through mid. It's going to drop down. No challenge there from the orange side. Ben has to play it into the corner. Tunloink follows up with the next touch. Unknown, no real opportunity to play that one out in front. Velocity will clear. .350 left to go. Game number 3. Still a 1-goal lead for Reno, as it will be Velocity to try to carry it out of the corner. Good challenge by Unknown. Heist and Ben in that rotation. They eventually get the ball to mid. Unknown with the challenge. Velocity last man back. Dukinator beats him there, but Velocity makes the save. Great job on the read there from Velocity, kind of bailing himself out of a bad position.
Yeah, this Utah State team is very their play style is very aggressive, if you say. They're very reliant on those last second saves, just hoping that you put your car on the right spot, and it's been working out for them. But when does it stop at this point? Like, you have to create some offenses. Heist trying to pass to Velocity but can't make the touch, and this Reno squad slowly going to break you down at this point. I mean, they did it in the last game. It took them quite a while. They already have the first goal, but if you're Utah, you need to score a goal pretty quickly and not let Reno control the game that they have so far.
It's still a 1-goal game, so certainly not out of this one by any stretch is Utah State, but Dukinator will add a second on the board. The pass from Tunloink off the back wall was perfect, and it's a 2-0 game for Nevada Reno.
Yeah, Velocity pushing out a little bit too far, not expecting Ton to get that good touch off the back wall, and no challenge in the midfield. Dukinator has a free touch into the net, and it's 2-0 Reno. And that's what I said. You don't want to let them score that second goal. You don't want to let them snowball, because unless you can score a goal or two quickly, this thing might get out of hand again, just like it did early in the last series. Tunneling tried to carry that one through the whole team, but no dice, and it stays 2-0.
Great play there from Heist, but Velocity can't get the redirect on net. Tunloink will challenge that way up high, and game number 2 was quite exciting, but you think about it, Utah State unable to score in that game. They had 1 goal in game 1. They've got 1 goal on the series. I mean, you think about the average number of goals they've scored in this series, it's only about a half a goal a game, as that one comes off the crossbar there from Unknown. And when you're down by 2, you've got to start ramping up on this offensive production. They just can't get anything going in the blue half.
Yeah, they can't get out of their own end at this point. Reno is just shutting down everything that they have. Ben getting a touch, but he doesn't have any boost to follow it up. Heist gets beat to that one. He went as last man. That one's going to be 3-0. Tunneling, good job there in the midfield, just winning that one. And Reno up 3-0.
You respect the aggression. You realize that Utah State need to get on the offensive side of the ball, but that was not the greatest challenge there from Heist. Certainly got beat to that one quite handedly. That'll make it 3-0, make it even more difficult for Utah State to try to come back here in a pivotal Game 3. They have to win this game if they want to stay in the series. Will be Ben and Tunloink coming together through mid. Dukenator can't quite get a touch on it, but Unknown has all the time in the world to try to play this one. Can't get by Ben. And with only 70 seconds left to go, the ball in the orange half, potentially a fourth goal on the way. Good play from Heist. This one looking pretty dire now for Utah State.
Yeah, if you're Utah State, you got to score button now just to have a chance at this one. But every ball is just getting contested. Tunneling, a good pass there from Velocity, but a good save. And Ben gonna put that one towards net. He will put that one in. It's 3-1. There still is a chance for Utah, but it's still gonna be tough.
And this just comes off a rebound. Finally, they get a good challenge from the third man in. This time it was Ben to put the shot on goal. That has kind of been what has been lacking for Utah State in this series. The third man follow-ups have not been there, and now when they need it the most, Ben is able to pull through, but they still only have 43 seconds to find 2 more goals. As long as they can score with at least some time remaining, there is hope in the game, but Ben can't get up to the shot. A long-range bomb from Tunloink secures his second.
Yeah, Tunneling just respawns in the perfect spot. This just goes across. Ben can't get up in time, and Tunneling makes it 4-1. And unfortunately, that, unless Utah can get a kickoff goal here, that might spell the end for this series and another clean sweep. I was hoping for Game 5, but hey, you know what? Sometimes just some teams show up that good as Velocity. He's going to put that one in. He's going to find another one. It's 4-2. 7 seconds left. Who knows?
Still, the series not over. 27 seconds, 2 goals needed. Every kickoff now is so very important for Utah State. We'll see what they do with this upcoming one. It's going to be Tunloink and Velocity to take it. We'll go to Heist. He actually bumps Velocity, but Ben is there on the backside. Can he get the double? He can't quite put that one home. That was an opportunity to get one back. Still out in front. Heist will go high. Ben is there, but Dukenator makes the play. And with that and the clear from Tunloink, actually good block there from Velocity. Ben will keep the ball in the blue half. Dukenator trying to kill as much time as possible. That one's going to bounce in front. Velocity can't get the touch. That will do it for the series. Nevada Reno will hold on and take the series in 3 straight games. Wonderful, wonderful series played by them. 2 wonderful series played by them tonight, and they will move to 7-0 on the season.
Yep, Dukenator taking one for the road and giving them a 7-0 record. That is, I mean, that's really good. You're looking really good to go late in the season with that. Utah State moving to 6-1, but they were still, they still challenged Reno, especially in game number 2. That game number 2 was very close, and it could have gone either way, honestly.
No, certainly could have been. If Utah State win game 2, does the outcome of game 3 change, you think? Does Utah State carry momentum into game 3?
I think it's possible. I really do. They had a lot of chances in that game number 2, and it felt like as soon as they lost that game number 2 in overtime, their spirits were kind of gone.
Sure.
Reno scored within the first 20 seconds, and that was pretty much it the rest of the game. I mean, Utah really didn't have a whole lot of answers in game number 3. Unfortunately, I would have liked to see a little bit of a closer series, but hey, you know what? It was as close as you can get in game number 2. 8 minutes of no goals scored, and finally, Reno found it.
Well, for the Reno team, they played 6 games tonight. They won all 6 of them. 5 of those 6 games, Vitali, they scored 5 or more goals. So certainly an offensive showing for the University of Nevada, Reno. And it was a well-played series. Both series well played by them. They deserve that 7-0 start to the season. And certainly a team that's on my radar to make pushes in some of the top collegiate scene, not just CSL, but you look at CRL and stuff too. Reno, I mean, they're a team to beat right now.
Oh yeah, Reno I think is a quality team, and I think that they have a strong shot. There's a strong shot at them making CRL as well. I think if they pull off what they did tonight and beat some teams in the Western qualifiers, there's definitely a possibility that they make it.
Well, we're going to go ahead and go to a very short break. On the other side of that, we will watch Utah State A team that we just watched in that last series take on the Brigham Young University Cougars. You're not going to want to miss that. We'll be back in just a moment.
MacDo.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to CSL Hunted and Batali here with you. We've got one final matchup on the night. It is Utah State, which we just watched in that last series against BYU. And this one also looks like it should be a pretty good one. Unfortunately for Utah State, they did just get handed their first loss of the season. But now they've got to face a BYU team who's 3-1, still looking to carry that momentum throughout the rest of the half.
Yeah, this BYU team is 3-1. As I said, their only loss that to the Utah State white team, which is below this team. But who knows? In this series, you really never know. It is Rocket League. Anyone can show up on any given day. English is hard. But yeah, I'm excited to see this series. I think this is going to be a pretty close series as well. Of course, we said that last series, and it turned out to be unfortunately a sweep, but we'll see what happens in this series. We have seen the blue team already, Utah State, BYU in the orange. Hunted, take this one away. You're good at this play-by-play thing, so why not?
Well, I appreciate that, sir. We are underway game at number 1 between BYU and Utah State. And as you said, Utah State will be in blue this time. Ben Heist and Velocity. And for BYU, Clint 9 Smith, Guzaboo, and MacDo. Love the names for BYU. Very, they just sound good to say. But either way, MacDo will get an early shot on that blue goal. First one of the game there, as that's going to be sailed just over top of Heist now. So this ball still in the blue half. Velocity is going to try to challenge this one on the back wall. Good play around everyone, but again, Heist going to be turned away. Velocity now looking to try to challenge out of the corner. It's going to bounce towards MacDo to keep the ball in. Minute gone, just about. Still no score. But BYU has had some early pressure. They just haven't really been able to find any kind of shot opportunity.
Yeah, no, this BYU team has showed up pretty well, and they're a good Heist. Nothing. Stayed a good play there. Just passing across and Heist putting one in.
Yeah, good. Like you said, it was a good pass across the box there. Looked like the BYU defender could have had a challenge on it. I think it just had a slight bit of a reaction delay. Ball passed across the box. 1-0 in favor of Utah State. Velocity up for this one. Guess we're going to be able to make the play, but Heist is there for the follow-up. He'll push that wide. Ben to try to turn on this one. Clint underneath of him. Velocity still able to keep the ball going. Up now is Heist looking for the touchdown. Ben able to turn. Actually gets to that ball first. Velocity still here. Pass to Ben. They score. Beautiful from Utah State. The speed on display now for the blue squad.
Yeah, good play there. Good challenge there from Ben. Velocity, a good pass across. I don't know if that was fully intended as a pass, but it worked out as Ben able to put that one in. And it's 2-0 Utah. He's doing a fantastic job of coming out in this game number 1 and really imposing your will on the offensive side.
Minute and a half played as now Heist careens that ball towards the cage. Good clear way by Clint. That's touched, looking for MacDo. Now Guzaboo can't quite get the clear. You can see BYU struggling a bit to find purchase in the blue zone. They've had to play defense after that initial flurry, after that first goal from Utah State. It has been all blue, as now Ben tries to score another one there. Can't quite get by MacDo, but still solid offensive rotation from Utah State. No answer quite yet from the BYU squad.
And something that they're really doing, that what they tried to do last series is this play almost works out in a goal, is their transition play from defense to offense, especially with Velocity, is that cherry picker role, is doing a fantastic job. He's getting these touches and beating out the defenders. There's a good pass there from Heist to Ben. Makes it 3-0 Utah State. Just a great play.
Yeah, Ben creating opportunities on the offensive side. He's gotten both of his goals in this game have come from just solid passes where he's been lurking around that goal line. He touches that one home, gets his second goal on his second shot of the game. That makes it a 3-0 affair now for Utah State. The demo on the backside opens to the net for Velocity. He'll pot his first goal. Everybody on the board now. It's 4-0.
Yeah, a really good pass here from Ben. And a great demo from Heist. Just great communication, knowing that you will have an open net velocity coming in there as a third man. As we said, he's did that almost all of last series, and he did a fantastic job of winning that challenge and putting it in the back of the net. It's 4-0 Utah. And this is exactly what we wanted to see from this Utah team last series, but they're showing up here in this series.
There's velocity, turns another one in, 5-0 now for Utah State. This time a solid transition, and we talked about Utah falling into the trap of sending the third man in at inopportune times, and that is exactly what got BYU beat there. It's such a difficult position to play when, you know, especially at this level of the game, it can be so difficult to read the play well enough to know I need to challenge this ball, but I got to let this one go as Heist will knock his second home of the game. And you can tell that once you get into that rhythm, it starts to feel a little bit better. But if you're thrown off or your team's just not in the offensive half, playing third man in can be so difficult.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I have some experience with that, and it's not an easy position to play at all. I think that it's probably the hardest position to play, to make sure that you give your teammates time. If there is a transition happening and you have to only get a delayed touch or keep that ball in, so you allow your teammates to get boosts. It's tough, but they're doing a fantastic job in this series, at least in this first game. The results have shown they're up 6-0 in this game number 1.
Ooh, what a touch from Ben. He just got underneath that ball. He'll knock home his hat trick here in game 1. It's a 7-0 affair, and Utah State looks like they're taking out a little bit of their frustrations from last series. You got to think, Vitaly, they were only able to muster, 3 goals in that series? And, they're off to a 7-0 start here. There's got to be at least a little bit of frustration or animosity on the blue side right now.
Yeah, I mean, you go into that series, you're hoping for a close one, as Heist is going to put in an 8th one. You're hoping for a close series, and you end up, unfortunately, getting swept. But here, you come out, you have a good, strong start. This is a good job of rebounding right after a loss. I think that's really tough for most teams, especially in the collegiate scene, is to rebound right after losing and make sure to come back and get a strong series. And this game 1 is all the showings of having just a strong rebound series.
Certainly a reason why Utah State was an undefeated team coming into today. 8-0 game 1 as Heist wants to make it 9. He almost picked his spot. Ben hits the post as well. That's off the crossbar, and eventually it finds its way home. And you look at the scoreboard, Vitaly, and it just looks so good. All 3 players have a hat trick in this game. Everybody's taken at least 4 shots. It's just a very nice looking scoreboard for Utah.
It is a very nice, it's satisfying, every player has a hat trick, and I mean, that's what you want. You want to spread the wealth equally. This Utah State squad, as that might be a goal here. No, Heist will be able to clear that one away, but they did a good job in this game number 1 of imposing their will. Might have taken them a little bit to get going, but they did a good job of just continuing the offense. As Ben unfortunately can't put in the 10th one. He wanted to keep the scoreboard at 3 goals each. I think that's definitely what that was. It's velocity. Ooh. Can't put that one in either. And this Utah State team still at 9-0. That might be 10. No, it's going to go off the post again. You know what? I think my theory might be correct. I think they might want to stay at 3 goals apiece. I think that's what they should go with. Save face.
My goodness. Multiple post hits in the dying moments here from Utah State. Not that any of it really matters. Only 15 seconds left to go. Still a 9-0 lead. Great block there from Ben to keep that one away from the goal. And yeah, we're going to head into game 2. A coasting victory here for the boys in blue in this series. And now if you are BYU, it is about time to make a change, or you can kiss this series goodbye.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that first that BBB squad, just getting off to a good start and continuing that pressure. I think that they need to change things in the midfield. They need to be faster. They need to not allow these plays from Utah State to really develop. As once that first goal is scored, the floodgates open. There was like 4 goals in the span of 45 seconds, something like that. And at that point, this game was over. Like there wasn't anything that BYU could do. So if you can get the first goal and not allow them to really snowball this game, you might have a good chance game number 2.
Yeah, I mean, speed is always one of the key factors in a lot of these types of matches. Typically, if you see large blowouts, kind of like that 9-0 win we just watched from Utah State, you can always kind of tell that the team that wins those games are always just a touch faster to the ball than their opponents. And, you see exactly why there. And for BYU, it's going to be a challenge to try to keep up with that pace. It's hard to slow a game down when you can't even touch the ball.
Yeah, it is. It's tough. I mean, as you said, like this team is just a little bit faster than you, but unfortunately, you have to make these touches and a velocity to Ben. It's 1-0, 30 seconds, and just a fantastic play.
Yeah, good touch from Velocity down to Ben. And Ben has scored a couple of wonderful goals in this series already. He just always seems to be in a great place to get a touch on the ball when necessary out in front of that orange goal. He'll get his first of game 2. Off and running again are Utah State. We'll see if there's any pushback from BYU here in the early going as Velocity down towards Ben, looking for another redirect. Clint actually gets bumped away from it. No follow-up from Heist. He was lurking in midfield. He tries to play that out in front. Guzaboo able to play it back, but Ben again in solid position. He's going to go up for this one underneath, but he can't get by Guzaboo.
No, and unfortunately with Heist, you needed to make that touch. But both BYU players go, and unfortunately that offensive situation goes by the wayside. If you're BYU, you can't have both players commit there. Because that one offensive opportunity that they've had pretty much in most of this series so far just goes completely gone. That double commit.
Velocity tries to get by the orange defender. Not going to be able to do so. Great flick. Almost got by Heist as well. But now turning around into the orange zone. Guzaboo down to MacDo. He'll send this towards the blue net. Velocity has to go up and make that touch. Bouncing down into midfield. This is way up high. It'll bounce back down. Clint is there. He'll push it wide, however. That's kind of been the story of BYU's offense. They get opportunities, but no shots on net.
Yeah, no, definitely for sure. And Utah Heist almost putting that one in. This is going to be passed to the midfield again, and Ben, you make it 2-0. A beautiful pass from Heist again. And this Utah State team, just these passing plays.
Yeah, I mean, who else but Ben does knock home another pass right out in front? He has kind of made that his little home there, sitting out in front of the orange net. He's been putting them home. 2 goals on 2 shots for Ben in game number 2. As now Clint, good challenge. This will give Guzaboo an opportunity. Ben actually whiffs on the ball. That sends Guzaboo flying into that back wall. He was unable to make the touch. It will be MacDo to try to play it down. Velocity, solid, clear. Ben already up in the air for it. No deflection there, but Heist gets enough on it to score his first. And it is 3-0 with 2:39 left to go.
And this it's a little scary of a challenge from Heist, but he's able to win that, make it 3-0. And I mean, just under half the game gone. And Utah, again, they're just imposing their will on this BYU team. There really isn't much that this BYU team can do. They have some opportunities, but there's never been that final shot. As they just can't get a touch there. Heist dives. It might not matter as they're going to get back in time. They just take too slow to transition, and it's costing this BYU team.
Good touch from Clint. This is going to send Guzaboo up in the air. He takes a shot. Ben just in the nick of time, able to get up to that one and make the save. 2 minutes left on the clock. This is careening towards the orange net. Velocity will give it the remaining velocity it needs to find the back of the net, and it's 4-0.
I like that. The remaining velocity, a good play, a good challenge, and just getting a good touch right over MacDo. And it's 4-0 for this Utah State team, and they have done a very good job in this series of bouncing back after having a little bit of a rougher series last series. But you know what? As I said, they had a good bounce back game number 1, and they've really shown no signs of slowing down in this game number 2 either. Really not allowing this BYU team to have any offensive opportunities.
Ben to Velocity to the back of the net. 5-0. 2 goals for Velocity in this game, 2 for Ben, 1 for Heist. And again, Utah State maintaining possession, keeping the ball in the orange half. Passing plays have been absolutely key for the blue team, and it's just clinical. Again, we've seen 2 series now where it's quite obvious that there is a bit of a skill gap between the squads, and we saw Reno do it to the Triple B team of Utah State. Now we're watching Utah State do it to BYU. But it's the execution on these opportunities is something that's quite fun to see as a commentator, because, you know, you can create as many opportunities as you want, but if you're not putting them in the back of the net, then you don't have a 5-0 lead, and that is exactly what Utah State is doing.
Yeah, I mean, in that last goal, it was 3 touches and then in the net. Like, that was Heist to Ben to Velocity and just right in the back of the net. I mean, that's as picture perfect as you can get. And they're just doing a fantastic job of just finding each other on the field. As you said, like, as a commentator, these are the kind of games you like to see. Just very smooth plays from one team, and it's just beautiful Rocket League, honestly.
Well, the final 50 seconds ticking away now. BYU still hunting for that first goal of the series. Heist is going to win that challenge by Guzaboo. It's going to fall down. Velocity actually takes that away from Ben. Heist wants to do what he can. Clint nearly broke away, but a touch from a blue player ends up sending the ball back down into the orange half. 25 seconds left on the clock here in game 2. Will be a Utah State victory as we move towards game 3. And again, it's not as devastating as a loss for BYU as game 1 was, but still, something has to change heading into game 3, or this is a very, very short series.
Yeah, again, this could be 3 very short series. And unfortunately, I mean, if you're on the side of BYU, you just got to make some offensive changes. You can't, and defensive, just basically changes throughout the whole game. I mean, they've been beaten at what they want to try to do, which is play fast and play that midfield game. But Utah State is just beating them to almost every single touch. And unfortunately, unless you start winning those challenges, Utah State's going to beat you every time. So,
well, again, you take a look at the stats. Actually, the interesting part to me is how close we are in shots between the 2 teams. I mean, you have 7 shots on the side of Utah State, 5 on the side of BYU. Obviously, where there's a large difference is in the goal department. Utah State scoring 5 of those 7 shots. But, you know, it kind of just shows Utah State weren't really pressing a lot. I mean, they were generating opportunities, but the opportunities they generated, they scored. And that's kind of the important part if you are a Utah State fan.
Yeah, they capitalized. They capitalized on the opportunities that they needed to. And if you're on BYU, you just got to do the same sort of execution. Obviously, it's easier said than done, right? Like, that's easier. Yeah, you know, just execute. But that's exactly what they need to do. They just need to execute better, get some good touches in the midfield, allow yourselves to have open nets rather than, you know, 2 or 3 men sitting in net. Unfortunately, that's where you're going wrong. Like, you can't just shoot at the net and with 3 players in it like there and expect the ball to go in unless it's perfectly placed.
I mean, they almost set that up like they knew you were going to be saying that.
Almost.
I mean, you said you can't shoot at 3 players in the net, and all 3 of them were sitting there waiting for that shot. Quite poetic.
Might have paid them off, but, you know, it's okay.
Well, here we go. Game number 3 is underway. Guzaboo will have an opportunity, but Ben again with the save. Mac do the follow. Another follow-up is high from Clint, and they just cannot buy a goal, can BYU?
No, they just can't. 3 opportunities. Guzaboo shooting it right into Ben. He had that whole net to shoot at and shot it right at Ben. And then the other follow-up and another follow-up just high. And this BYU team just can't finish these opportunities, and that's what's killing them in this series.
Well, Ben now tries to play it by Clint. It will be Guzaboo falling down towards the cage. Good clear away by Velocity. Ben can't quite find it. That's a triple commit. This could be dangerous. Clint up for it. Actually calls Guzaboo off the ball. That will lead to Ben finding enough time to get that clear. Macdu trying to turn it around. As a minute and a half has been played, no score on the board. That one again just wide. How many times have we seen shots go just wide? Now Ben will push one wide as well. Heist does sneak that one in near post, and it's 1-0 for Utah.
And all it took was one offensive opportunity for Utah, and it's 1-0. I mean, unfortunately that's tough if you're on the side of BYU. You've had all these opportunities all game, and unfortunately you can't capitalize, and it just goes into your net off of one opportunity. It's got to be a little demoralizing, but you got to regroup and say, you know what, it's fine. It's one goal. We can get that back. We've had a lot of opportunities in this game number 3. Just got to capitalize.
Heist to Ben to the net again. A beautiful passing play, and it's almost like it's just the same trick reused over and over again. Somebody finds Ben sitting out in front of the goal, and Ben scores. Yep,
they got a cat. I mean, what they're doing, they're leaving Ben wide open in the field, and he's a quality shooter. I mean, he will put that in almost all of the time. Good save there from McAdoo. That one almost made a 3. And just these passing plays from Utah State, they're finding each other in the midfield, and if you're letting those passes through, unfortunately, it's pretty much going to be a goal every single time if they execute properly, as that's going to go off the post. And just BYU can't buy a goal, as you said.
Talk about a team that's been snake bitten on offense, and this is kind of your poster child for that if you are a BYU fan. Yeah. McAdoo finally will put a goal in the back of the net. And that is the first one of the series for BYU. It comes off of their, 9th shot of the game? Yeah, 9th shot. As McAdoo will make that touch, and that's a good sign. I mean, BYU has been playing this game quite well, keeping the pressure in the blue zone. It's just, of those 9 shots, 7 of them should have been in the net.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, you've had so many posts. A good save there. But BYU, you've scored that first goal. Now you got to get another one. As tough as that one is, it took you 9 shots to score the first one. Hopefully it doesn't take you another 9. We don't want to see a 2 for 18 shooting. I don't want to see that shooting percentage in the morning. But if you're BYU, you just got to capitalize a little bit better. Just, I don't know what that word is. Just execute goals better. Hey, score. There you go. You know what? You just got to score. That's all you got to do. Score. Just score forehead.
I mean, that is the ultimate coaching advice from Vitali. Just score more goals than your opponent, and you will win every game. As Clint will tie it up. Great play. He gets back to his own rebound. We're tied at 2 with 1:40 left.
And this is exactly what I was talking about. Just execution. Ben with a miss for the touch, and Clint reading that touch perfectly, and it goes off the back wall, and he just puts it right into the top corner, and no Utah defender can get back in time. It's tied at 2. It didn't take them 9 more shots to get another goal. And, I mean, if you're Utah, you're looking a little bit scared now. BYU has controlled most of the game this far, but Ben, a miss! And this might spell disaster for Utah. That should have been a goal every day of the week.
Yeah, and Kazabu nearly gets one in transition. I mean, all 3 players were on the orange side of the pitch with the ball and no orange defenders, and they were unable to score, unfortunately. As with the only 70 seconds left to go here in game number 3, we are still tied at 2. BYU battling back, doesn't want to end in a sweep in this series. Can they find another goal as time continues to tick down? Velocity over the first 2 attackers, but Clint keeps the ball in. Ben to Velocity, looking for Heist back down through mid. Does get a solid touch, but Clint is there to clear it back down. This is going to give them some troubles. Clint can't quite find the finish, but BYU threatening in the blue half.
Yeah, Velocity not getting a good touch there, not getting any touch at all, and it allowed BYU to have another opportunity. Ben, not with the greatest touch. Again, this is going to go off the back wall. Velocity has to get a touch. He does. Gazaboo, the shot towards net. Ben is there, but this BYU team has controlled all of game number 3, and they're looking to hopefully send us to game number 4, unless Utah can find a transition goal here, which they might, as Heist is going to put that one in. And with 9 seconds left, Utah takes the lead.
That they do. Velocity maintains control on that clear. That is the key to that play. Heist was just waiting for a pass. He finds it and finds the touch necessary to put that one in the back of the net. 3-2, 9 seconds left to go. Guzaboo, a solid win on that kickoff is going to give Clint an opportunity to bump a player out of the way. McAdoo can't quite find the touch out in front. Guzaboo on net. That's in the net. We're tied at 3.
Woo! That was a little scary. But a great job, Guzaboo. Just getting the perfect touch to put that one in. And we are all tied at 3. We're going to overtime in game number 3. That's 0-second goal. And, I mean, if BYU wins, we go to 4. But if Utah State finds this next goal, they're going to take the series in clean sweep.
Overtime, game 3. McAdoo will play this one down in the first offensive possession. Goes to BYU. It'll bounce way up high. Clint was trying to challenge velocity. Here comes the transition. Guzaboo, last man back. He does win the challenge. Heist is there. He'll bounce this up for Ben, but he gets back to the ball so quick. Is Guzaboo on defense now. Velocity looking for Ben in the orange zone still. There's Heist. Off the ceiling, Guzaboo able to make the play, the demo onto Ben. Here comes Guzaboo, a favorable spawn for Ben. He wins that challenge. Now Heist looking for Ben, but again, it's Clint able to cut that play off. High speed action here in overtime in game 3. The bump, but Clint there to make the save.
Oh my goodness, and this is a shot towards net. Can Ben save this? Yes, he can. This overtime has been hectic. That one demo a little bit favorable for Utah State, but everything's calming down now as Heist going to put that shot towards net. This BYU team got that 0-second goal to stay in it. Oh, it's Guzaboo almost own goals there to end the series, but they stay alive here in this game number 3.
Solid challenge by Guzaboo. It'll fall down. Heist jumps up to make that touch. Tries to keep it in. There's Ben out in front. He puts it on goal. That's in the net. Baller down from Ben. Who else to end the series but the guy who has been scoring all the goals for Utah State? He puts in the final one, and that's a 3-0 sweep for the boys in blue.
Yeah, and a good rebound series from them after getting swept by Nevada. Reno able to come out and sweep BYU, just doing a fantastic job. Of course, in this game, this was a little bit scary for them, but they got the job done either way, and they moved to 6-1 on the season. Meanwhile, BYU moves in 3-2 on the season.
And a well-played series to Utah State, not letting their defeat earlier on get to them. They played, as you said, a very solid series. Game 1 was a blowout 9-0 win. Game 2 a little bit closer, 5-0. But then BYU they showed up in game 3. They were able to generate a lot of offensive opportunities. I still think that if there was a little bit more of that, that kind of finish from the orange half, this one could have been much different. We could have seen a game 4. But either way, solid series. Utah State never let it get away from them. That's why they were able to sweep.
Yep, and they did a fantastic job of it. And I mean, Utah, obviously they had that tough series early on, but they rebounded really well. As you said, that last series was very fantastic of them. Even though they gave a goal in game number 3, they had the ability to stay composed and get that final goal to sweep.
Well, that is it for us. We saw 3 short series tonight written by 2 different authors, I suppose. But it was a wonderful night. Our first night back from break. It was quite a fun one. I do, before we go to break, just want to make sure that you follow us on social media. Of course, you can see our Twitter tags down in the bottom. Please follow us there if you enjoyed the casting tonight. Vitaly, it was lovely to cast with you as always. And again, make sure that you follow CSL on Twitter as well. Follow the Twitch channel. For every time we go live, you'll get a notification. And of course, you can see the GameStop weeklies on your screen there as well. Make sure you sign up for those at our website, cstarleague.com. Thank you so very much for watching. It was a pleasure to bring it to you tonight. I cannot wait for next week. Have a great evening.